Hello, my name is Emma, and I was just walking in my neighborhood when I witnessed a crime go down. At the children's playground of all places. There were 5 people at the scene: sweet Charlotte, her mother Rebecca, and her 3 little friends named Jack, Henry, and Isabel. Charlotte was riding on the swing when someone pushed her off, causing her to fall and smash her head on a rock. She is in critical condition at the hospital. Her mother Rebecca said she wasn't watching when this horrible act occurred, and her 3 friends seemed to all be innocent and unwilling to share information. There was a strand of hair identified at the crime scene, and it has since been amplified for 2 different VNTR loci and run on separate gels to create DNA fingerprints. Let's take a look at the gels now and sort this mess out. Here we have the first locus, locus 1. It displays 2 alleles for each suspect or individual, including the evidence, because humans are diploid. We can first validate the gel by comparing Charlotte and her mother Rebecca. Considering Rebecca is her biological parent, Charlotte should have inherited 1 allele from her at each locus. Here we can see this allele is the same for both Charlotte and her mom, Rebecca, so that is consistent with a biological parent and child. Now, let's first rule out the suspects or individuals that cannot be the culprit of the crime. Individuals that don't match the evidence at both alleles are automatically ruled out. Considering that information, Charlotte, Jack, and Isabel can all be ruled out as a suspect of the crime. Even if one of their alleles matches one of the alleles of the evidence, it is not enough to convict them. Both of their alleles must match both of the alleles of the evidence to be considered guilty. Charlotte and Jack both share only 1 allele with the evidence, so they can be ruled out. And Isabel does not have any alleles in common with the evidence. So Charlotte, Jack, and Isabel can be put up on the not guilty list. That leaves Rebecca and Henry, who match the evidence for both alleles on locus 1. They will be on the guilty list until proven otherwise. Now, let's take a look at locus 2. We can reiterate the validity of the gel by comparing the alleles between mother and daughter, Charlotte and Rebecca. Here again, they both share the same allele at the bottom, consistent with biological relations. So now, we already have some information from locus 1 about the suspects. Looking at locus 2, some not guilty individuals previously identified may now match the evidence. Isabel is a great example of that. Even though it looks like she could be a good suspect here, we have already ruled her out for locus 1. She would have to match at both loci in order to be guilty, so she will remain on the not guilty list. Now, let's analyze the other 2 individuals already on the not guilty list, Charlotte and Jack. Their conviction remains consistent, as Charlotte only matches the evidence for 1 allele, and Jack does not match the evidence at all. Okay, so now we only have 2 individuals left, Rebecca and Henry. First, let's take a look at Rebecca. She matched the evidence at locus 1, so she was put up on the guilty list. But here at locus 2, Rebecca does not match the evidence at all, so she is ruled out as a suspect and can be moved up to the not guilty list. So let's adjust that. Okay, there we go. Now all we have left to analyze is Henry. Here we can see Henry still matches the evidence and is the only individual to match for both alleles at both loci. Now we can conclude our investigation and determine that Henry is the crime committer. Seems like he is not a good friend for Charlotte, and we hope she makes a speedy recovery in the hospital, resting assured her assailant was caught. Thank you.